All right. Okay. We're going to look at this topic, time value of money. It is topic number 4, as far as the personal syllabus is concerned. And you're saying that when we talk about time value of money, just a recap, when we talk about time value of money, we are trying to look at the value of 1 shilling for a given period of time. The value of 1 shilling for a given period of time. We usually say that if I have 1 shilling today, its value will be different tomorrow. Its value will be different tomorrow. And I say that today and tomorrow is symbolic. Today and tomorrow is symbolic. And therefore, we can mean, if we say tomorrow, it can mean 10 years, 20 years to come. So there is that effect of money with time. And the thing is, money reduces value. Or loses value. Can use loses value. Loses value with time. And that's why we say that if somebody owes you money today, it's better for that person to settle that to settle that today. If somebody owes you money, it's better for them to settle the money today. Now, we had a question. I want us to first of all look at some of the assignment solutions. So we had project, was it project A? Is it project B? It had some year 1, 2, 3, 4, where I cannot remember the cash flow for the project. So somebody to tell me what was the cash flow for year one cash flow for this project. Year one cash flow, somebody. Year one cash flow ilikuwa ngapi? Somebody, I think you wrote this from the assignment that I gave. It's better we start there. 5, 6, 8, and 10. Thank you. So these are cash flow. And we were required to determine the total present value. We are required to determine the total present value. What was the rate of return? Was it 10% or 13%? 10%. Using 10% as the required rate of return. So we say that once the examiner asks you such a question, you need to first of all identify the type of cash flow that you have. For example, in our case, what are the type of cash flow that you can see? What is the type of cash flow here? Regular or irregular? You first of all determine the type of cash flow. Are we dealing with the regular or irregular cash flow? Are we dealing with the regular or irregular? Regular or irregular? We are talking about this cash flow here. Are they irregular or irregular? Aha. Irregular, exactly. These are irregular cash flow. And for irregular cash flow, we say that if you want to discount to get the present value, that simply means you are discounting. You are trying to convert this future cash flow into present. Therefore, for the irregular cash flow, we discount using PVIF. This is a factor that helps us to discount present value interest factor of interest factor, present value interest factor, present value interest factor, present value interest factor. That is a factor that will assist us to convert this cash flow from future to present. And the formula is one. Somebody to remind me the formula. No, cannot write that formula down there, and you are here. What is the formula of PVIF? How do you get PVIF? Somebody, very fast. We're using a laptop. Shift 6 is raised to power. Shift 6 means raised to power. Raised to power. What is the formula of PVIF? What is the formula of PVIF? This factor. We told 1 plus R raised to power negative n. Exactly. 1 plus R raised to power negative n, raised to power negative n. Class, this, I told you that this is golden, and it is good to note. It is good to note that this is the formula for getting the PV. So in this case, if I want to discount this, my PV is here, and I'm using 10%. So the first thing I need to get is a PV of the first year. So I'll be having PV for the first year. This one I'll be very categorical. 1 plus 0.1, that is my R. Remember, R is the required rate of return. And then this one I put in bracket raised to power negative year 1 for year 1. I want somebody to first of all give me this. Aha, you can use a calculator to calculate that or to compute that, or else you can use a table. Now today I want to introduce a table to you. How many people managed to download the past paper? How many people managed to download the past paper? How many people managed to download the past paper? How many people managed to download the past paper? 1 for yes, and 1 for yes, 1 for yes, 1 for yes. I can see Gadoni managed. Jane still managed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, I want you people to do this. You go direct to one past paper, and then you look at the end, the end page. The end page. You see 2 tables. You see 2 tables. Just go direct to where we have the second table. I hope you're doing that. You open one paper. You go direct. Of course, it should be financial management paper, CPA. Yeah? You open one. It be for 2018. You go to financial management. You look at the end page. Are we there? Are we there? Niambieni kama tuko pale. Are you able to go up to where we have the last page? Can you see the 2? Can you see the 2? Can you see the 2 tables? Can you see the 2 tables? I'm giving you time so that at least we are able. It is not always that you'll be using the calculator. It is not always that you'll be using the calculator. It is not always you'll be using a table. So I want you to be all round. I want you to be all round. So are we there? Are you able to see the table? Are you able to see the table? Remember the link to the past paper I shared yesterday? Or if you like, you can check the WhatsApp description. Thank you so much. Gadoni is still there. Now, I would like you to go direct to where we have table number 1. Table number 1. Can you see where we have PVIF? Jane still there. So for those people who have not downloaded the past paper, please, hizo past paper ni muhimu sana. Remember, that is the mirror of what we expect. All those past paper, this is the mirror of what we expect coming April. Therefore, you need to have them. So with that, I want Simon to use a calculator. I want Simon to use a calculator and give me this. And then I want Gadoni and Jane and any other person who have opened the past paper at the end page to use table number 1. That is a PVIF table. And tell me this will be how much? 1.1 raised to power negative 1. 1.1. So that one, for the table, you just look. You see, we are having row and column. We are having percentages here in the row, and then we are having years here. Years downward. 1, 2, 3. So our percentage is 10%. So you go where we have 10%. You go for the person using the table tafadhali, you go where we have 10%, and then where we have year 1, where they intersect, you read that value. So you say it is 0.9091. That is 0.9091. I'm waiting for a person. Everyone is using a calculator. Everyone else is using a calculator and giving me this 1.1 raised to power negative 1 to 4 decimal places using a calculator. You can see, they're giving me 0.9091. Please note, it is always good to know how to use the table. It is always good to know how to use a calculator. There are some values. For example, let me send Jane, and I think those are the people who have managed to download those past paper. You can share with us. You can share with the people in the group. Jane and Kathoni, please, someone to share that paper. I want you to look at 13% 2 years, 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 13% 2 years. We're waiting as someone else is sharing this. Two people to at least be all around. So here it's 0.9091, 13% 2 years. That using the table for those people who are having the table, and I hope someone is sharing with us. And please make sure that during the weekend you download all those perspectives from 2015 to 2023 December. 13% 2 years. What is the PVIF of 13% 2 years? Somebody using the table. I want somebody using the table. What are we getting? 0.7831, 13%. I hope Gathoni, you have used the table. 13% 2 years. What about Jen? And somebody is sharing that paper so that everyone should be having the paper and they can see what we are looking at here. Let me see whether mine will be shareable and say the copy. 13%, 2 years. Jen, we're waiting for you. Just check. You must, at the top there, you must be having 13. And then 2 years. Read the value there. Is there? Inapatikana ama haipatikani? Inapatikana ama haipatikani? Please answer me. Answer me. Jane, review your page as well. I've shared that paper. So you can open. Everyone can open. Haipatikani. Haipatikani. Thank you so much. Haipatikani. So that's why I'm telling you, you can find some values are not found in the table, but using a calculator. Now, use a calculator and give me that and tell me whether Jane was correct. Tell me whether Jane was correct. I know Jane used the calculator. I know Jane used the calculator if that is the correct one. So can you use the calculator and give me 1.13 raised to power negative 2? What are you going to get? Haya, ndio maana nawaambia ni vizuri kujua kutumia zote. Wakati mwingine values zingine hazipatikani. So how much is this? 1.13 raised to power negative 2. Negative 2. She was correct. So it is 78, 0.78, 31, 0.78, 31. So if you ask Jane, she was able to use a calculator. She was able to use a calculator. She was able to use a calculator. Now I want a confirmation from you whether you are able to use both table and a calculator to compute the PV. And the same way PV is computed. The same way PV is computed. Are we together as far as both table and calculator is concerned? Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable, Lily? Gadoni says yes. Where are the rest? Where are the rest? Where are the rest? A very nice question from Simon there. A very nice question from Simon there. A very nice question from Simon there. You see, in most cases, examiner expect you to use the table. In most cases, examiner expect you to use the table, and that's why the table is provided in every FM and AFM past paper. Any paper, you'll find the table being provided. So examiner expect you to use the table. But sasa unaweza kuta kama hii yenye haiko kwa table. What do you do? Use common sense and use a calculator. Sawa. Are you together, Simon? Give me that of year 2 now. Give me that of year 2. You can use a table. You can use I know 10% is found there. Therefore, you can use a table. You can use a calculator. So year 2 will be 0. Year 2, I'm waiting for year 2 now. Waiting for year 2. Year 2 tuko na ngapi? Year 2 tuko na ngapi? Try to give me those figures very fast. Remember, still speed is examinable. 8264. And for those people who are using the table, of course, it will give you 0.8264. But at the end here, utakuta kwamba kuna 0. Unafaa weke 0 point. At least 0 point. Haya, hiyo ingine itakuwa ngapi? Hiyo ingine itakuwa ngapi? 7513. Yeah, now we are doing well. Let's do it very fast. Next one. The last one. 6830. 6830. To get the discounted cash flow, you just take the cash flow times the PV. Cash flow times PV. The first one itatupatia nini? The first one itatupatia nini? Chanione. The first one what are we going to get? That is 5,000 times 45.5. 45.5. Second one, let's do it very fast. Second one, somebody else should be giving me this. Of course, this one, don't tell me this is 68.30. 1 to 4, yes. Hiyo ingine ya pili. The second one. Let's compete. Let's try to compete. 49.58.4. 49.58.4. 49.58.4. The last one, the third one. The third one tutapata ngapi? Remember, through the chart is where that is your battlefield. Through the chart. So don't just look at us. Tafadhali do something. Hiyo ndio battlefield yako. And practice is the key. 60-10. 60-10.4.0. So we add all this to get the total present value. We add all that to get the total present value. So what will be the total present value? What will be the total present value? What will be the total present value there? Ngapi? Ongeza hizi zote vizuri. Ongeza hizo zote vizuri. I will wish to get a variety of or wish to get it from different individuals so that at least we are able to record it once. There's no need of keep labbing now and then. So let me get it from various students. What is the total? Tulisema hiyo calculator by the end of the semester unafaa kuwa umeielewa kabisa, unafaa kuwa unafanya hata hesabu ukiwa umefunga macho. So through practice that is achievable. 22,344.3. 22,344.3. 22,344.3. Thank you, and thank you so much. For those people who did that question, how many got the question? Is there any person who got this as the final answer? Is there any person who got that as the final answer? Yes or no? We have Simon. If you got this as the answer, let me know. If you got this as the Patricia also got that. That shows that you understood the concept. You understood the concept. Is there any person who attempted and did not get this? Is there any person who attempted and did not get that answer? Please be genuine to me so that I'm able to assist you. Is there any person who attempted and did not get that answer? Any person? Ulijaribu lakini sasa haikuingiana kabisa. Is there any person who attempted but got incorrect answer here? Anyone? Anyone? Where are the rest? Where are the other falling? Okay, I know you'll admit as we proceed. Okay, now assume examiner tells you that add an information here and tells you that the initial outlay, we are expanding it now. The initial outlay of project B is 30,000. Determine the net present value. Determine the net present value. Determine the net present value. We have started evaluating the project. Determine the net present value. NPV, famous known as NPV. What do you think would be the net present value? What do you think would be the net present value? Class, to determine NPV, we say that it's gotten by getting the total present value minus initial outlay. Initial outlay. Now I want somebody to give me their net present value of project B. Remember, now we started expounding pole. What is our net present value? What is our net present value? Somebody. What will be our net present value? 22,344. Kadhoni, naona kama umegonga mwamba. Review your answer. Use the calculator very well. Get net present value is the total present value minus initial outlay. Minus initial outlay. Or in short, we can say net present value is equal to total present value minus initial outlay. I am waiting for the answer. I'm waiting for the answer. 676. Hii figure ni funny. 7,655.7. That is what I'm getting from Simon. Simon, I think you're going to add an N to your name. A very nice name. You add an N. So let's tell you it's Simon. You know, somebody who have done CPA is a big person. You big person. So I want somebody to confirm. I am also getting negative 7655.7. Now I have contradiction here. So I want the third person to confirm. Is it a negative? Is it a positive? Is it a negative? Is it negative? Thank you, and thank you so much. It will be, our total present value is 22,344, 22,344.3 minus 30,000. Of course, this is smaller, so it will be negative 7655.7. Thank you, and thank you so much. Now, as a financial manager, remember, investors will come to you with this type of cash flow, with the given details, and tells you to tell them whether the project that they wish or they intend to invest in is viable. When I say of viable, I mean, is the project profitable? Is the project profitable? That is the way financial managers are expected to value projects. So is it viable? Is it profitable? And we say that if you get a negative NPV, the project is not viable. If you get a positive NPV, project is viable. So in our case, what do you tell the investor who wish to invest in a project with the following type of cash flow? How do you tell them? Should they invest in that project B? Should they invest in that project B? Yes or no? Yes or no? Naomi anatuambia no. Naomi anatuambia hapana. Hapana. Exactly. It's a no, because you see, the NPV that we getting here is a negative. And this means that this project is not viable. this project is not profitable. In fact, you can see that the initial outlay, whatever that this person invested in, the initial investment was 30,000, and the outflow or the income that the person is getting is 22,344.3. Therefore, this is leading this project to be not profitable. This is not a profitable project, and therefore the investor should not invest in this project. So you can have a variety of project, maybe project ABC. Between the three, you'll find that there's that with a smaller negative, bigger negative, and maybe a positive. So the project with a positive NPV is the project that you should advise the investor to do what? To invest in. And that's how you do the analysis. So you advise the investor to invest in that project which has a positive NPV. Now, I want your input here. NPV of project B, NPV of project A, NPV of project C. So these are some of the NPV of each project. And these are shadings in million. And investor Jane come to you and tells you that she wanted you to advise her on which project to invest in. As a financial analyst, which project would you advise Jane to invest in? Which project would you advise Jane to invest in? As a amekuja kwako, these are some of the NPV of the project. So Naomi Antombia, project C. I want to get at least several answers. C. Thank you so much. So in this case, if you're not told to learn, okay, you can give Jane a small analysis of the same and tell Jane, Jane, if you invest in project C will give you, it shows that it has high profitability. It is still same for project B and A will give you profit, but not as high as compared to project C. So once you are through, Jane, investing in project C, if you still have money, you can proceed and invest in project B, and lastly, you invest in project A. So we chose C because it has high profitability. It will give her a very high profitability compared to the other project. Higher profitability. So you see, all of them are viable. They are viable project, but now you have to compare the return that we are getting. So class, are we together as far as discounting of irregular cash flow is concerned? Are we together? Because this should be at your fingertips. The knowledge should be at your fingertips. Are we together as far as that is concerned? Are we together? Really? Good. Now, having said that, I'd like us to go to the next one. Now, that is all about the irregular cash flow. Now, what about regular cash flow? What do we do? Regular cash flow. Let's see. So still, we told to determine the total present value of project D. You can write down project D with 12% as the rate of return. With 12% as the rate of return. 12% as the rate of return. The rate of return. The cash flow is equal up. So we have here 1, 2, 3 of cash flow. So in this case, our cash flow are regular. So when we talk of regular cash flow, uniform, we mean uniform. So if I look at year 1, 2, 3, we have uniform cash flow. And therefore, if you are told to determine the present value, the total present value, it is easy. It is easy. It is easy. Which factor do we use? Which factor do we use? Which factor are we supposed to use when it comes to this? Fact to me, a factor gani? Somebody to remind us. Just reminding ourselves. Which factor? PV far. Please. Muhimu sana. Present value interest factor of annuity. Kitu yenye ina change hapa ni ati tuko na annuity. Annuity stands for uniformity. Formality. So the formula for PVFA is 1 minus, hii niliwaambia ni golden, so write it somewhere. 1 minus into bracket 1 plus R is per negative n divided by R, where R remain to be number of period, n remain to be number of period, R remain to be the rate of return. And for you to compute this, we use table number 2. Table number 2, what table? Table 2. Table 2. Still, you use the calculator by feeding this into the calculator. For instance, in our question, what is our R? Is n positive or negative? Raised to negative 2. Negative n. It's a negative. It's a negative. Maybe to mention so that at least wakati umefika pale itakuwa rahisi. So anytime you are discounting, n is negative. Anytime you are compounding, n is positive. Sawa, Simon. Yes, if you are discounting, n is negative. Remember discounting tunarudi nyuma, Acha niwakumbushe number line, You remember the number line, Hapa tulikuwa na sufuri, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you people to understand, to master financial management and feel that at least you understand what we're talking about. So 0 is the center. 0 is the center. So we have future value or future cash flow. Future cash flow. We want to bring them into present. Future cash flow, we want to bring them into present. So tutakuwa tufanya nini? Tunarudi nyuma. Negative. So if you have present cash flow, you want to take them into future. Tutakuwa tukienda wapi? Tukienda mbele. Kienda mbele. Kienda mbele. Kienda mbele. So if you are compounding, it will be n positive hapo. Lakini there's no need of writing positive. If you are discounting, it will be minus n. These at least you indicate it. Indicate it. So in this case, we've said that we are going to use table number 2. Table number 2, or you can as well use a calculator. So it's easy. It's easy. Remember, all these are similar. All these are similar. Therefore, to compute the present value of regular cash flow, present value of regular cash flow, we take the future value times PVFA. So your formula ni muhimu. Future value times PVFA. For example, in our case, what is the future value? What is our future value? What is our future value in our case? In our question there. Future value. See, it is 2000 times PVFA. PVFA itakuwa 1 minus 1.12 raised power negative. Now we take all the years, negative 3. Then this divide by 0.12. Whatever that you'll be getting there, it will be the present value. Now, somebody to give us the present value for this. Somebody to give us the present value for this. So use the table to get the PVFA. Use the table. Somebody to use the table. Somebody else to use a calculator. What is the PVFA here? Takuwa ngapi? Somebody use the table. Somebody else can use a calculator. PVFA ni ngapi? Tukue chap chap. Tukue chap chap. Tukue chap chap hapo. Tukue chap chap. We are waiting for can give me this first. Up, up. Somebody using a table is very fast, so I'm wondering whether still you people muko na zile table zenu. Using a table is a bit easy. 2.4018. Let me check my table as well. 12%, 3 years. 12%, 3 years. 2.4018. Yes, I'm getting the same. 2.4018. Tafadhali, can you try and use a calculator? Kuna watu wengi sana huwa wanakosea hapa hivi. Use a calculator, feed it in a calculator, and remember to put a bracket here. And then tell us whether you're able to get that. So this one multiply by 2000. Multiply by 2000 to get our present value. Assume that the initial outlay of that project was 30,000, as we had said, and then tell me what will be the net present value, and advise the investor. So how much are we getting? 2.4018 minus times 2000. Somebody, before we go for a break of some few minutes, 5 of course. So patia hii ngapi? Table number 2, 4803.6. So assume that still we had an initial outlay of 30,000. What will be the NPV? NPV will be 4803.6 minus 30,000. So tutapata ngapi? And patia NPV as we go for a short break of 5 minutes. 25,196.4. 25,196.4, which is a negative, showing that this is not profitable project, not viable project, not viable project. So class, let's go for a break of 5 minutes, after which we shall be back. Please synthesize that information. That information means a lot to us. So are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Kama tumepata hiyo break imetosha hiyo. Dakika 5 sawa. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Ama bado? Ama bado? Dakika 5 iko sawa. Je, tumerudi? Are we there? Ah, good. Okay, now I want us to have a comprehensive question. To wide up that concept of discounting. A comprehensive question to wide up this concept. You see, comprehensive question to wide up this concept. I want us to have a very comprehensive question here to wide up this. Good. Let the present value, the foreign cash flows component. So when we do this question, at least now we shall have covered, we shall have beaten the examiner 9-0 or 10-0. Once we are through with this, we shall have beaten him vizuri. Hata akijaribu kutwist swali aje ya discounting itakuwa hawezi. So in this case, as you can see, can you look at those cash flow and tell me, are they regular or irregular? Are they regular or irregular? Haya. Those cash flow, hata naona tuko na a symbol pale inakaa hivi. Tunaita infinite. Are they okay? Thank you so much. I like what Naomi is saying. Who is in agreement with Naomi? Naomi anatuambia ni both regular and irregular. Who is in agreement with Naomi? Tuko mpaka na infinite, and to get the present value interest factor of annuity of an infinite, we say it's 1 over r. Please andika hiyo mahali. To get the present value interest factor of annuity, or to get the discount of annuity, it is 1 over r. 1 divided by r. Venye tunasema ya irregular ni irregular cash flow, tunasema ni 1 plus r raised to negative n. Alafu tunasema ya regular cash flow, formula yake ni 1 minus 1 plus r raised to negative n all divided by r. So kwa infinity hii ni 1 over r, just that. So who is in agreement with Naomi? By the way, is it Naomi? I think Naomi, you should still complete that. Naomi. Who is in agreement with Naomi? Simon. I'd like to get various responses. Several. Let's get several responses. Jane still is in agreement. Exactly. Thank you so much. Yes. In our cash flows, we have both regular and irregular cash flow. For example, year 1, is this a regular or irregular? Sasa hapo ndio nitawashikia sasa. Nataka tu analyze hii. For example, year 1 and year 2, is it regular or irregular? Year 1 and year 2, irregular. I like this. Exactly. Irregular. There is somebody there, I can see they are not sure. Kuna watu bado hawako sure. What about year 3 to 7? Year 3 to 7? Regular. Exactly. Hiyo ndio secret. That is the secret. Najua examiner alijaribu kuset maswali mpaka akaona sasa wanafunzi wanajua, akajua ataweka range. Once examiner put a range for you, ati anakuambia year 3 to 7 is 2000. What does that tell you? That year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, 2000. Ni vile tu ameificha, but this is a regular cash flow. Hivyo ndivyo wamefanya regular cash flow. Sasa student wengi huwa wanaona hii, wanasema these all are irregular, and kutoka hapo student anafanya nini? Anaanguka. But secret ndio hii, ameficha hii, amekuficha ili usiweze kujua kwamba that is. So anytime you are given ranges, anytime you are given a range, know that the cash flow in that range are regular. And they are to compute the present value, we use what? We use the PVFA. Hasa zenye iko irregular, we use PVF. And that is it. Once you know that, you're done. Now we can proceed and solve the question. Are you people willing to attempt solving that question alone? Are you willing to solve that question alone? Or first of all, we solve, and then I'll give you a small assignment exercise for you. I think that is in order. So in this case, we want to get the present value. So we shall be using the PVFA here and PVF. And also that of annuity, of course, 12%. 12%. So for the first one, simunipatie ya kwanza. I need a space here. Patieni ya kwanza. Patieni ya kwanza tafadhali. Haya, twende kama kawaida tu. Ya kwanza tumesema ni irregular. Therefore, it will be 1 plus R least power negative 1. So nipatieni hii na hii. Hizo hazina shida. 0 points. Use a table, use a calculator, whichever. Bora to arrive at the same. When you use a calculator, please make sure that you indicate to 4 decimal places. 4 DP. 4 deputy president. 8929. Thank you so much. That is very nice. Remember, we are looking at your speed as well. By the way, speed is, you see speed during exam. This one give you 20% automatic speed. That give you 20%, which is automatic. Then we have 0 points, 7972. Then we go to the next one, 327. Remember that is a range. That is a range. It falls on the regular, which is PV for 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus R negative N divided by R. So munipatie napewa na Naomi na sasa hiyo nataka nipate variety. Nataka nipate variety. Nipate different people giving us the answer. 4.5638. Hapo ndio nataka kila mtu utege masikio vizuri. Hapa ndio watu wengi hukosea as far as this question is concerned. Nataka tuelewane vizuri. So I can see only one person giving me that PVFA ya 3 to 7. PVFA of course 12%. It will be 7 years. Hivyo ndivyo huwa tunasema. So PVFA 12% 7 years itakuwa equal to napewa 4.56. Is it 38? Can I get another person giving me that? Use a table, use a calculator, please. I want that to be the correct answer. Tafadhali. I want that to be the correct answer. Jane confirms that PVFA 12% 7 years. Umeona nimechukua nini? Wamechukua 7 years. We looking at 7 years. Na ili tufike kwa 7 years. Ili tufike kwa 7 years. Tumetoka year gani? Tumetoka year 1. Sawa sawa. So hii it encompasses for year 1, year 2 up to 7 years. Therefore, if that is for 7 years, what will be the PVFA? 2 years, 12%. Or maybe PVF, because we have PVF. Si tuko nazo already. Unaongeza hizi mbili. Unaona? Hizi mbili. So add for me the two. Add for me the two. Hapo ndio nataka ushike vizuri. 7 years ni zote. Year 1 to 7. Ndio ile. Nipe sasa ya hizi mbili zenye already tumecompute. Ili tupate range. Tunataka tupate range. Haya. Ukiongeza hizi mbili unapata nini? Can add the two. It will be 2 point something ama 1 point something. I don't know. 1.6901. 1.6901. Haya. Kama hii ndio PVF ya 2 years. Nayo hii ndio PVF ya all 7 years. How do we get PVF ya 3 to 7 years? How do we get that value? Si tunachukua hii yote, hii kubwa, tunatoa hii ndogo. Hiyo difference itabaki ndio itakuwa hii. So itakuwa 4 point. So PVFA, it will be equal to PVFA Hii ushike vizuri. PV first 7 years 12% minus PV 2 years 12%. Haya, nipatiwe hapa tuko na 4.5638 minus 1.6901. Nipatieni the actual 2.8730. Nataka nipate variety. Napenda kupata variety so that at least we are able to assist each other. Cha tupate variety mtu mmoja we compare notes. Let's compare notes. 8737 ndio tunapata pale. Good. Thank you. 2.8737. I hope kila mtu ameona vile tumepata hii. Please. Muhimu. All right. So for us to arrive to these, how many years have we used, Simon, for us to arrive to this? Have we used, remember, if I compute year from here to here, year 3 yote, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, hiyo ni 5 years. Lakini nimetumia miaka 7 kupata hii. Is that right, Simon? Have you got that? Yote 7. Hii yenye iko hapa mwisho. 7 yote. Simon, tuko pamoja? That tumetumia miaka 7 kupata hii. Good. Kama tumetumia miaka 7 na already miaka 2 tulikuwa tumecompute. Already we had for 2 years. That was PV. So for us to get the range year 3 to 7, si tunatafuta difference. Tunatafuta difference ya yote miaka 7 tutoe ile yenye tulikuwa tumecompute miaka 2. Si tutabaki na ya hiyo range 3 to 7 na ndio hii. Hii ndio unakujaga unaweka hapa. 2.87. Hii ndio maswali you expect. Simon, tumeelewana? Are we together? Is it now clear? Is it now clear? Good. Are we together, class? Please confirm because this concept ni muhimu kwako. Ni muhimu kwako. Are we together? I want to get the confirmation whether we are together as far as computation of that is concerned. Are we really together? Are we really together? Are we together? I'm waiting for confirmation. I know people are trying to synthesize. Thank you. I'm still waiting for more confirmation before we continue. Good. Now I want us to go to the next one. Year number 8, is it regular or irregular? Hapa lazima unaangalia what you're dealing with. Year number 8, is it regular or irregular? Year number 8. Year number 8. Is it a regular cash flow or irregular? Yes, it is irregular. So that one unaenda direct 1 plus R raised to negative N. Na N ni 8. And then so itakuwa 1.12 raised to negative 8. Unanipatia hiyo, tunaweka direct. Hiyo haina maneno. Hiyo ni pe. Haya, itakuwa ngapi? Itakuwa ngapi? Nipatie hiyo. Put it down here. 0 point, of course. Hizi za irregular zinakuwa 0 point. Hata ukiangalia hiyo table, irregular hakuna mahali tuko na 1 point at sijui hapana. Hapana. Irregular ni 0 point. 0 point. So utamaster. As the time goes by, utamaster. So nipatiwe hiyo 4039. 4039. Haha, we go to 913. Year 913. 0.4039. Year 9 to 13. Year 913. This is regular. Therefore, I expect 1 minus 1.12 raised to power negative 13 divided by 0.12. So unipea hii. Nipea hiyo. Unapata nini? Hiyo itakuwa ya miaka 13 kwanza. Ya miaka 13 kwanza. tupate hiyo ya miaka 13 kwanza. Haya, give me that. Ya miaka 13, miaka 13 kutoka ya 1 to 13 yote, and then tutatoa yenye iko juu, tutatoa yenye iko juu. Naona kama hapa sasa tutatoa hii yote, tutatoa hii yote ili tuweze kupata a value to put there. 13 years, 6.42 35, 6.42 35. Thank you and thank you so much. Sasa hiyo ni ya miaka 13. Si tutoe hii yenye iko hapa juu, tutoe hii, utoe hii ya miaka 8. Hizi ni za miaka 8, utoe hii. Lakini mwingine atakuja achukue hii ya miaka 7, aongeze ile ya miaka 8, ya mwaka ya 8, 40 39, alafu atoe from this. It is the same. Ukitaka uchukue sasa utoe tata utoe hizo, ama mwingine akuje uongeze 4.56 38 ilikuwa ya miaka 7 plus ile ya mwaka 8, alafu utoe from. Haya, nipatieni hiyo. Ni rahisi hivyo, ni rahisi hivyo. 1.4558. Somebody to confirm that, somebody to confirm that, somebody to confirm what. Naomi, I like your speed. I think umeanza ku get the momentum. That is good. That is good. Aha. Nataka mwingine anipatie. Either you can use that route or umepata ni ya 13 years. Toa hii miaka ingine ya hapo juu kutoka mwaka ya 8 ili tupate range. Exactly 1.4558. 1.4558. Thank you and thank you so much. We go to the next one. 14 to 17. Still we are having a range here. Kama hii ni ya 13, hii ndio nitakuja kutoa. Hiyo si ni ya 13 Na hapa sasa imeandamana. So nitatoa ile 6.42 35. So get for 17 years. Get the PV for 17 years. Get PV for 17 years. So itakuwa hivi, PV acha niwaandikie hapa, 17 years 12% minus PV hii 13 years 12%. So napewa pale 7.1196 7.1196 minus what I had here 6. Nimefuta lakini iko hapa juu. Can trace it here. Mlinipatia kitu hapa 6.4235. As simple as that. Tunapata difference ya ngapi? Pata difference ya ngapi hapo sasa? Difference ya ngapi hapo sasa? 0.6961. Thank you and thank you so much. Examiner sasa hawezi kushinda sasa. Ushamshinda huyu. 69, 60. Hii ndio wanaletaga wana confuse wanafunzi. Once you understand this one, mambo na discounting tumemaliza. Sasa we shall be talking about compounding. Shall be talking about compounding after this. Thank you. So we go to the next one. Mwaka ya 18, is it regular, irregular? Of course, hiyo ni moja, standalone. That is irregular. Therefore, so 1.12 raised power negative 18. Pata nini? Patia hiyo 0.1300. 0.1300. And then the last one ni infinite. Naona 19 year to infinite. Tulisema kupata nini ya infinite, the present value is 1 over R. R is 1.2. So 1 divided by 0.12 napata nini? 1 divided by 0.12. 1 over R is getting the present value of infinite. 1 over R. 8 point infinite. Now, this was for how many years? 17 years, 17 years. Si ndio? Na sasa ya 18 year ndio hii 1300. So instead of mimi kukuja kusema 8.333 minus ha minus ha minus ha minus ha, I just come here ya 17 years ilikuwa hii, niongeze hii ya 18, so nitakuwa already nishapata hapo ya 18, nikishaongeza sasa nitoe from 8. So I'll be having 7.1196 plus 0.1300. That one is for 18. Upate something. Unapata ngapi hapo? You get something. Then useme 8.333 minus chenye utapata. Hapa tunapata ngapi? Aya, unapata 8.333 still hapa. Hapana, haitaingia. Nipatie 7.2496. 7.2496. So minus 7.2496. So class, upate hapo ukuje uweke hapa. Itakuwa ngapi? Wangapi? As simple as that. Na hii nataka mfanye practice, Tulisema unafaa kuwa na vitambu mbili, moja ya exercise na ingine ya classwork. 1.0834. 1.0834. Please now, can you go and get us discounted cash flow? Go and get us discounted cash flow. You take tata, ukiweka tata. Now for this one, I'm testing and looking who will be the first one to give us the total present value here. Now you know how to do this. Aya, you can go ahead and compute that. So solution to that, Sasa hakuna any other way examiner ata twist any question regarding the present value or the discounting. Akushinde, hakuna. Sasa aje sasa. So you're having this question here. Solution. Having here, then cash flow. And the said shillings are in 1,000. So here we are having 1 to 5, 6 to 10. 1 to 5, 6 to 10. 11 to 15. 594. Good. All these cash flow are regular. All these cash flow Jane go the same. Thank you. That's good. All these cash flow are regular, and therefore we're going to use PV for 10%. So can you give me that of the first 5 years? So it will be PV for 5 years. 5 years 10%. Napata ngapi? 1 minus 1.1 raised to power negative 5 divided by 0.1. Ilikuwa ngapi? 3.7908. 3.7908. That's good. Hiyo ni direct. 7908. Then we look at PV for 10 years. PV for 10 years, 10%. That will be 1 minus 1.1 raised to power negative 10 divided by 0.1. PV for 10 years, mulipata ngapi? 6.1446. 6.1446. So for us to get the range between 6 and 10, we take this for 10 years, we less this for 5 years. So itakuwa 6.1446 minus 3.7908. Mulipata nini? 2.3538. 2.3538. Thank you so much. And then the last one is for 15 years. PV for 15 years, 10%. That will be equal to 1 minus 1.1 raised to the power negative 15 divided by 0.1, and then I get something. Unapata ngapi hiyo ya 15 years? 7.6061. 7.6061. So hii 15 years, so si nitatoa, nataka ni 11 to 15, so nitatoa ya 10 years. Ya 10 years ndio hii PV for 10 years, so itakuwa 7.14, no 7.61 minus 6.1446. Hii inanipatia ngapi? 1.46, 15. 1.46, 15. So discounted cash flow, year one, this will be 5,000 times this. Upata ngapi? As simple as that. 5,000 times that, upata ngapi? 18,954. 18,954. Aya. 9,000 times 2.3538. 9,000 times that. 21,184.2. 21,184.2. This is 0.0. The last one is 4,000 times this. 4,000. 58.46. 58.46. And that's all. We get our total present value. Total present value. Ukiambiwa initial outlay to get net present value, you know how to arrive to that. Though in our topic number 7, we shall be looking at NPV. Okay, so this was giving us 45 something. Nione ilikuwa ngapi? Ilikuwa 45 nini? 45,984.2. 45,984.2. And that was a question that was to earn you 5 marks. So congrats to all those people who got that. Thank you so much. You can dance. There's an emoji in your Zoom. You can at least use that emoji to dance, to encourage yourself, so that during next time, at least you'll be able to try again, and get it right. So that is it. And that is marking the end of the thousands in a bracket. How are we supposed to give our answer? No worries. Shillings in thousand. You see, shillings in thousand. Hata hapa nikikuja niseme shillings in thousand, naweza eka hivyo. And then kuna mwingine atawachana na hii hapa, so akuja aweke hizo thousand huku, aweke huko. So atakuja huku aweke hapa ni 200, aongeze 0.3. Hii sasa itakuwa 2, itakuwa 200. You understand Naomi? So that is still correct. Ukikuja uweke hivyo, still correct. You understand? You get the concept? You get? So inalingana. Ukiona 30 eliminated hapo juu zikiwekwa hivyo, unaweza ziweka to simplify, isikue wide sana, to reduce that ikuwe nini concentrated sana. We usually eliminate 30 sana kwa financial management. Utakuta financial reporting, utakuta tukieliminate the 30. But if you feel comfortable kutumia zote, you can use, but don't place them here. Don't say sharing in thousand and then huku chini uziongeze, itakuwa ikimaanisha ni billion. So I think that is marking the end of our today's session. Unless there is a question, I wish to stop it at that point. In our next class, I want us to introduce compounding. Whatever that you have been doing, is discounting, converting the future value into present, converting the future value into present. Are we together? Are we comfortable with the discounting? Are we comfortable? Are we comfortable? Good. Now, let's plan for next week, God willing. We start compounding. Meanwhile, continue doing more practice. Remember, hizi ni vitu unaweza hata jicreatea swali na ufanye. You can as well create a question, share in the group. If you can try this, let's try to compute the present value. Be active, be doing something daily. Otherwise, thank you so much. May you all have a blessed day. Have a blessed day and a nice weekend. Nice weekend.